This is the monument that I've been working on, which is a monument for the 4 chaplains. The 4 chaplains are 4 chaplains, 2 Protestant, 1 Jewish, and 1 Catholic, who sacrificed their lives on the Dorchester ship that was going across the Atlantic Ocean. They gave their life jackets to other crew members and stayed on the ship and prayed and helped everyone else get to safety while they went down with the ship. And so on this side of the piece you have an angel. It's almost like it's at the front of this ship, an angel holding the life jackets. And the idea about this was that basically on a lot of the old ships you'd have this woman at the head or at the front of the ship. So I'm kind of using that as the design element of it. And you can see how I created the wind suggested by the drapery folds as well as the hair. I love her face too, very mystical but very serious as well. And the life preservers, or the life jackets, as you see, are flowing in the wind and they're brushed up against the side of the ship. And what you will see inside the angel's wings, it's not quite done yet, but you'll see the U.S. Dorchester will be in the middle of being sunk at that time. And so it's interesting because her wings kind of frame this scene here. Here we are, the scene of the sinking of the ship. So this is a sculpture that basically tells a story. And the bottom of the ship, or the back of the ship, what you have is the 4 chaplains themselves. And here they are praying. Each one of them is basically a different gesture of prayer. As you can see here. And the front of the ship. It's pretty cool. Pretty large piece. I had to get that ship as large as possible to actually make it believable in a sense. So it is a large sculpture, around 13 feet. The other sculpture that I am almost finished is a piece that is going to Canada. And as you can see, you have the Canadian maple leaf as the basic framework for the piece there. And from the top of the leaf, soldiers from all the different wars are coming down to the viewer. And so it's a very powerful piece, and I like to perceive it as these are the soldiers that have died in all of the wars that Canada fought in, coming down to the viewer, coming back from history, coming from the past, coming from their death back to remind us about the sacrifice that the Canadian military has played in the wars. The sculpture is very impressionistic. The figures, some are expressing sadness, like the sailor. Others have kind of a serious look on their face, kind of questioning us to consider them, almost as if they're saying, remember us. This front soldier here is a World War II guy, and you can see he's holding a letter from home. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. So it's very emotional. The photographs of actual soldiers were used to create this piece as well. But here at the front I have a Highlander, I have an Air Force pilot, I have a World War I soldier, I have, like I mentioned, World War II, and a sailor. And then the different layers of this, you have the different wars and the other different divisions of the war. You have the Boer War man. You have right at the center there a merchant marine, and you have quite a few of. Oh yeah, and there's War of 1812 guy just below. Korean soldier. So what I wanted to do here was to show as many figures as possible, different expressions, different emotions, to make it as powerful as possible. So it's just not a a one-liner type sculpture. This is a very epic sculpture, just like the sacrifice that the Canadians made in war. And so the piece is almost done. You can see up at the top, the figures get small, the detail, they get pretty small. But if you notice here, I got a World War I tank. And actually I fashioned this one off of one that was, they'd actually named their tanks, and this one they named Toronto. It's bizarre, the fact that Torontonians were driving around these old tanks in World War I. But again, on the back of the sculpture, you have, like a lot of my sculptures, a story being told. It's almost, the front figures are now transformed into the military tombstones that go up from the life-size tombstones all the way up to kind of hundreds and hundreds. And what I wanted to really do here was, again, like the front showed the sacrifice in this very nice design. Most of the soldiers that Canada lost were buried in Europe, and so I like to think this piece is going on Canadian soil, and it can give the people that don't have the opportunity to go to Europe to kind of get that same feel about being at a military cemetery. And yeah, this piece is large. I think it's very appropriate to have it work within the Canadian symbol, the maple leaf. The pieces are almost done, and when they are done, both the Canadian one and the Fort Chaplains piece, they will be cast in bronze, which is going to happen virtually in a couple days here. I'm just going to end it right there. It's raining out here. I'm very tired, and the pieces are almost done. Thanks.